Meet Boars. That is the name people whisper when the lights go low and the cage door closes. Khamzat Chimaev. Cold eyes. Their hands wrapped tight. No wasted motion, no wasted words. He steps in with a smile that looks like a dare. He steps out without a mark. Opponents show up hoping to fight. They end up trying to survive. Most fail. Some legends grow slow. This one sprinted. He didn't just arrive at the UFC. He kicked down the door. Then he tore through the hallway. He fought twice in 10 days. 10 days. 2 different men, 2 different styles. One message: I smash everybody. His record says it clean. 14 wins, 0 losses. Perfect in a sport that eats perfect alive. But he walked in hungry. He still is. Watch him in the first minute. No feeling out dance. No lazy jabs to test the water. He dives into your hips like a human avalanche. Explosive, high-amplitude wrestling. He lifts you, tilts you, and the sky flips. Then the mat hits like a verdict. On the ground, the story gets mean. He doesn't stall. He doesn't pet the clock. He breaks posture. He slices through guards. He posts pins and drops fists that sound like punctuation. Relentless ground and pound. Quick, heavy, surgical. He knows when to pour it on. He knows when to pause just long enough to make you think you have a chance. Then he drowns that thought. But it is not just muscle and rage. He reads the human body like a map. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu runs through his toolkit. He chains pressure to position, position to submission, submission to sleep. Arm triangle, rear naked, guillotine if you give up your neck in panic. Wrestling brings you down. Jiu-Jitsu keeps you there. Together, they turn the cage into quicksand. And yet the scariest weapon is not a choke or a slam. It's his mind. He walks in sure of the outcome. He talks like the result already happened. I smash everybody. It is not trash talk. It is a weather report. Fans love that energy. Analysts respect that engine. They see the gas tank that doesn't blink. They see the pace that doesn't dip. They see a man who fights like the bell is a personal insult. He rose fast because he earned fast. He took risk after risk. He begged for names. He took short notice calls. He made weight, then he made statements. Stardom followed him like a shadow he could not shake. Every time he fights, screens glow on every continent. Clips flood timelines. Comment sections riot. People who never watched a takedown are now memorizing single legs. You can feel it in the room when his walkout hits. Hope from one side, dread from the other. Many say he will hold gold in more than one division. That is not a soft compliment. That is a warning to whole weight classes, because he carries his power up and down. He carries his speed everywhere. He carries his will into every exchange. Outside the cage, the fire cools. He speaks quiet. He trains loud. Reps stack like bricks. Mornings, nights, and the hours most people sleep. He chases edges. He cuts weakness out like it owes him money. This is the paradox that hooks people. Feral inside the fence, calm outside. No scandals, no excuses, just work and a promise to smash. The promise keeps getting kept. You can try to plan for him, set traps, circle away, pop the jab and run the clock. It looks smart on paper, it feels hopeless in practice. Because he closes space like a door on a windy day. Because he pressures without panic. Because he can go from faint to freight train in half a heartbeat. The lift is part art, part violence. He uses hips like a lever. He steps across. He loads and unloads. The moment you float, you belong to him. Your base is gone. Your breath gets short. You think about your family and your choices. Then the canvas. Then the shoulder in your jaw. Then elbows feeding doubt. You start giving him gifts without knowing it. A wrist, a neck. Half guard you think is safe. It is not. He eats it and leaves no crumbs. The crowd feels the switch before the finish. They can tell he has your soul on layaway. He speaks to the ref without words. Either he is about to stop you, or the ref is. Pick your fate. His dominance is a language. Even people who never saw a sprawl understand it. This is pressure anyone can read. It is gravity. It is weather. It is a tide you cannot turn. There are prospects who talk like hurricanes. He fights like one. Relentless aggression, high-intensity pace, technical enough to trap black belts, savage enough to terrify strikers. The phrase he made famous rides with him. I smash everybody. It is on shirts now. It is in gym captions. It is in memes, and in the mouths of rivals who wish it were theirs. Fans chant it like a hymn. Analysts quote it like a thesis. The aura is not an accident. He stacked it brick by brick with decisive wins. No flukes, no messy debates. Clean breaks, hard taps, doctors waving off trouble. That is how a legacy grows, one decisive victory at a time. But here's the part casual fans miss. Composure. You cannot fake it. He has it like a second skin. Chaos does not melt him. Noise does not reach him. He sits still in the storm. He lets others burn out. He doesn't just train hard, he trains smart. Sparring with purpose. Drills that make instincts automatic. Footwork until calves scream. Breathing drills until lungs behave. Film until patterns play back in his sleep. He is a global sports icon now. That is not hype, that is reach. Clips hit phones in cities he has never seen. Kids copy his stance in garage gyms. Pros study his entries frame by frame. Coaches tell prospects to watch how he sets his level, to feel how he hides shots behind calm hands. It sounds simple when he says it, just smash. But the craft is layered. Hand fight to inside tie, snap down to underhook, underhook to turn, turn to lift, lift to plant, plant to break, break to end. He can go chain to chain without thinking. He moves like water with a grudge. He doesn't need your approval, but he took it anyway, and the sport is better for it. There is a difference between a fighter who hopes to win and a fighter who shows up knowing you already lost. You can hear the difference in how they breathe. When the bell rings, he stalks. No wasted bounce, no cute feints for applause. Every step is a question. Can you stop this? Most cannot. The rest do not want to find out again. He wrestles like the mat owes him money. He grapples like the choke clock is ticking. He strikes enough to keep you honest, a jab to blur your focus, a cross to make you guard, then a level change that steals your legs. Even his clinch is a problem. Head pressure you cannot shake, wrist control that feels like cuffs, a knee to remind you your ribs exist. He drags you to his world, inch by inch. You see it in the eyes of his opponents between rounds. A look that says they met the real version of the sport, the one that crushes hope, the one that doesn't forgive one lazy sprawl, one slow stand-up, one breath out of rhythm. His path through the UFC felt like a speed run. Names stacked fast, buzz hit a fever pitch, 2 fights in 10 days turned whispers into sirens. Who does that? Monsters do. Legends do. Boars does. Every time he leaves, the question grows. Who can stop that man? Name a style. He has an answer. Wrestler, he will wrestle you into silence. Striker, he will make you wrestle him. Jiu-jitsu ace, he will smother your hip line and steal your gas. Your best weapon becomes your exit plan, and he keeps improving. That is the scary part. As if dominance were not enough. He drills new tools, sharpens old ones. He is not bored with winning. He is obsessed with getting cleaner, tighter, meaner. You want details? The man snaps through shots with clean penetration steps. He keeps his head off-center. He finishes on angles. He runs the pipe without giving up his base. On top, his chest pressure is criminal. His hips float heavy. He stymies butterfly hooks with patient wrists. He collects ankles like souvenirs. You move, he moves less, but gets more. From guard, he doesn't chase fancy. He breaks posture lines. He wedges elbows where you cannot breathe right. He cross-faces like a grudge. He stands only when it pays interest. Otherwise, he melts and peppers. He makes a minute on bottom feel like a year. The finish is almost funny if you're not in it. You think you are safe. You are framing, breathing through your teeth. Then a hand slides under your chin with casual disrespect. Your eyes pop. Your arm says no. Your brain says tap now or sleep. Either choice is a story you will tell for a long time. This is why the world pays attention. Not just wins, statements, pictures you can post, stories you can repeat. He brings folklore to a sport that demands proof. He supplies both. Many call him a future champion across divisions. It sounds greedy. He doesn't care. He wants every belt he can reach. He wants to fight the best on the fastest timeline. Not next year, now. And still, outside the cage, calm, composed. He speaks softly and trains loudly. He treats sparring partners with respect. He carries his team like family. The ferocity has a switch. He flips it for the cage only. That balance makes him more dangerous, because he wastes none of it where it doesn't matter. The nickname fits. Boars, the wolf. He hunts in space you thought was safe. He finds angles you thought were closed. He smells fear like smoke. He follows it to the source. In a game built on chaos, his method is clean. In a world built on hype, his proof is hard. 14 up, 14 down, 0 doubts when the dust clears. His rise sent shockwaves beyond fight fans. Casual viewers learned what ground and pound looks like when it's not sloppy. They learned what control feels like when it includes pain. They learned that a takedown is not an end. It is a beginning. And the phrase that rides shotgun, I smash everybody. Confidence distilled into 3 words. No fluff, no caveats. It's a contract with violence, signed in sweat. If you wonder where this came from, look at his grind. Look at the repetition. Look at the boring parts that broke others. He ate those for breakfast. He ate them until they tasted like winning. His coaches talk about him like a storm that never runs out of rain. His teammates smile when they try to describe the pace. They cannot. You must feel it. You must feel a human sit on your chest and take your soul with a whisper. That is why the respect is real. Fans admire the aggression. Analysts admire the control under pressure. He can go wild and still see every inch. He can hunt and still calculate every step. Nothing about his fights feels padded. No hand-picked valleys. Just mountains he climbed with bad intentions. The record shows it. The frames show it. The faces after the fight show it. He keeps promises. He said he would make noise. He did. He said he would keep winning. He did. He said he would smash everybody. You know the rest. The global spotlight is not kind, but it seems kind to him. He wears it without sweat. He lets the world talk. He lets the cage answer. Some careers stall. His keeps burning fuel. He chases greatness and drags drama behind him like sparks. Every call-out becomes a headline. Every headline becomes another line on a highlight reel. You do not need to guess what makes him special. You can see it. Explosive wrestling that launches bodies. Ground and pound that breaks rhythms and ribs. Jiu-jitsu that tightens like a noose the more you move. Aggression that leaves no room to breathe. Mindset that treats fear like clutter. Calm that turns chaos into a plan. When people ask where this wave leads, the answer feels simple. Belts, multiple. Classes do not scare him. Big men do not stare him. Small cages do not scare him. Only boredom does. So he refuses to be bored. He is already a global sports icon. Brand beyond borders. Presence beyond platforms. Kids copy his stance in playgrounds. Veterans study his entries for tape study. Media cannot stop replaying the throw that broke the trend. As for the future, expect more of the same. More rushes, more lifts, more tapper naps, more post-fight smiles that look like he just finished a warm-up. More legacy stamped into the mat. And if you want the deep dive, the lore, the breakdowns, the moments in crisp detail, there is a place. The spotlight on boars burns bright at MMACampHQ.com. They track the rise. They study the style. They follow every camp and every rumor. They keep for receipts on that perfect 14-0. They relive the 2 in 10 days flex that bent the sport. They explain why that explosive wrestling changes fights before it even lands. They show how the ground and pound becomes a language, how the jiu-jitsu coils around the wrestling until there is no exit. If the phrase, I smash everybody, lives rent-free in your head, they have a whole neighborhood for it. For more information, visit MMACampHQ.com. Back to the man. He still trains like someone is chasing him. He still acts like each fight is do or die. That is how you keep an edge sharp enough to cut air. You can try to slow him with leg kicks. He will take you down off the second one. Try to clinch and stall. He will turn the corner and dump you. Try to shoot first. He will sprawl and make you regret initiative. You can try to talk him into a brawl. He will give you volume with purpose. You can try to run. He will cut the cage like a tailor. He wastes nothing. He takes everything. When he wins, it lands with the force of proof, not question marks, exclamation points, not maybes, absolutely. He stacks names until the list feels like a statement all by itself. He turns rankings into decoration. He turns game plans into hope. He walks through pressure like it's a suggestion. He meets danger with delight. He tests himself against the best versions of his opponents. He makes sure they meet the best version of him. They do not like that meeting. What happens when the rounds get deep? He gets meaner. He breathes steady. He moves smart. He finds second wins where others lose first ones. What happens when a shot does land on him? He smiles. He comes forward. He pays back with interest. He keeps his feet under him and his mind on the score. He keeps his heart steady and his hands ready. He lives for the walkout, not the fame, the feeling. The world goes small, the cage goes big. Everything else vanishes. Time obeys him for 15 or 25 minutes. Then the world returns and the result is carved. There are few athletes who force a sport to update its software. He is one of them. He pushes divisions to evolve. He drags the meta toward pressure and punishment. People study him, not to copy, but to survive. And yet, ask him what he wants, and the answer is still clean. Fights, wins, belts, work. He is not here to chase a mood. He is here to make a mark. The story reads simple. A feared UFC fighter with a perfect record. A rapid rise that made the spotlight blink. 2 wins in 10 days that broke the timeline. Explosive wrestling that lifts men out of plans. Ground and pound that erases hope. Jiu-jitsu that seals fates. Aggression that gives no room to recover. A mindset that smothers doubt. A catchphrase that belongs on a flag. A composure that makes the whole thing feel inevitable. That is the script. But this is not fiction. This is a career still taking shape under bright lights. This is a legacy that grows every time his hand gets raised. Every decisive victory adds weight to the myth. Every opponent adds a page to the book. You do not need to wonder if he is for real. You can see the proof. It is written in sweat and tape and faces pressed into canvas. It is written in the way he stands at the end. Calm, certain, untouched, or unbothered. People around the world feel the pull. They tune in to see the next chapter, to see if anyone can stop the march, to see if anyone can silence the phrase. No one has yet. He remains the storm that arrives early and leaves late. He remains the wolf who hunts daylight. He remains the nightmare your coach cannot dismiss with a smile. So, learn the name if you somehow missed it. Khamzat Chimaev, Boers. The wolf who does not ask permission. The fighter who does not pace himself for your comfort. The man who made a motto and turned it into a service. He says he smash everybody. Believe him. He has not been wrong yet. And every day he trains like he plans to keep being right. The cage waits. The world watches. The legacy builds. And Boers keeps coming. Short notice. Full camp. Rain or shine. 14 have tried. 14 have learned. Some learned fast. Some learned slow. All learned the same lesson. This is not just a fight. This is a force. This is wrestling with a jetpack. This is jiu-jitsu with a bad mood. This is aggression with a plan. This is composure with teeth. If you love clean execution, he is your fix. If you love chaos, he is your chaos. If you love dominance, he is your headline. If you love heart, he is your warning. People will keep predicting the upset. People will keep hoping to be first. That is fine. Hope counts for nothing when the gate locks. History counts for everything when the bell rings. Remember the promise. Remember the pace. Remember the 2 in 10 days that bent time. Remember the perfect record that ignores fear. Remember the catchphrase that turned into a reality show. The next chapter is coming. New names, new stakes, same message. Boers is here. And he smash everybody. Until someone proves otherwise, the world will keep repeating it. He will keep delivering it. And the sport will keep bracing for it. Because in a game built to break spirits, he builds his legend, brick by brick. Because in a world that loves noise, he gives them something louder than words. Because in a timeline full of maybes, his certainty feels like gravity. Khamzat Chimaev, the feared one, the composed one, the machine, the wolf. 14-0, fast rise, faster finishes, explosive lifts, relentless ground and pound, savage jiu-jitsu, no room to recover, no room to doubt. He does not just win, he defines what winning looks like. He does not just talk, he makes phrases into facts. You wanted a storm, you got a forecast. You wanted a fighter to change the weather, you got a cold front named Boers. And when the door closes again, you will hear the same promise cut through the noise. I smash everybody. You have been warned, you have been blessed, you have been entertained. And his legacy keeps growing with every decisive victory.